Interesting map because we know Relics, they prioritize the early game rotation, but what you really want to see here is will there be yet another Illidan or Glaurung's Butcher is going to show his face.
It is possible, you know, Illidan, I mean, Glaurung loves Illidan. He's been around him for months. You know, this guy's come back from all the way in the Tech Alpha, playing Illidan, playing aggressive heroes, Stitches, even the wonderful Butcher was a pickup for him. So the question is, do you ban out Illidan and then become fearful of the Butcher, or do you go for the supports as Jake was mentioning earlier, or do you just ban out what's standard and try to play better next game? And it looks like they're going to ban out what's standard and try to play better.
The fact that they have so many different styles that Relics has to think about is a really scary thing for them, right?
Yeah.
They have to be worried about all these different melee assassins at Glaurung's disposal. That's why he's so well renowned for them. But now busting out Brightwing Tassadar Abathur, what else do they have in their pockets?
This is really mind-blowing. Relics, they have a different amount of strategy.
Well, that's an early Zagara.
Yeah, it is. This is why it's weird. We've got them playing a very wide variety of strategies in SEA, but here, they're being thrown surprises from corners, curveballs that they've never seen before. 3 different types of shield we saw in the last game. And this one here, we're seeing Zeratul and Kilthas banned out. Zagara Lyric will be the pick for Relics. They really want to get across control. For Jaina, it is going to be on Cognitive side. What do you think they're going to follow it up with?
Well, they're going to move into Uther, a strong pick. Just a quick touch on top of that Zagara there. She is very powerful in this battleground. It is a 2-lane battleground, and her creep tumors are very, very strong in the middle of the map. Vision is key here, so you see Relics prioritizing her a little bit higher, and then of course the strong. But Jaina, Uther here. Now, what do you follow up to if you're Cog? The thing is they have so many aggressive strategies that they might not even try to pick up a warrior. However, they do move into Johanna, and Johanna is one of those heroes that can kind of just force something to happen for you in the middle of the map, right? There's small quarters, you walk up, you pop your W, and next thing you know, you're in a team fight.
Hey, just looking at Cog's composition so far, it's all about control. I mean, Uther, Jaina, Johanna, they all have a lot of control on the battleground. They just have to watch for those big maws. But like you were talking about Zagara being her best battleground, it's because it's not only the creep spread, but the poke that she has with the minions. And this makes a big case for heroes like Nazeebo to be picked up as well, that can safely just throw their spells and deal damage to the enemy team's Immortal as they are in that phase battling each other out.
And it is pretty clear Cognitive's going to go for yet another melee assassin. John has been picked up for only one reason, really, to deny the shield glare, so that those right-click damage will go through. Kerrigan is taken out. Relics is making sure that they commit to that, and Arthas is gone as well. Now Relics picking Anubarak here with Lyric and Zagara. They're going back to the standard 2-warrior meta, as well as Zagara for more control. In the last game, the biggest problem was not being able to take out those supports. Zagara, she handles that perfectly with Devouring Maw, only if he's executed properly.
What I love about Anubarak on the Relics is how they play him in the early game versus how he plays him in the late game. You see, throughout this game, you'll see Anubarak dive a lot and try to condition the opposing team to be ready for those dives. And then in the late game, he'll switch it up on them and really force the opposing team to potentially go in for an engagement to get on top of that Anubarak. He starts playing a little bit reserved. He helps out the Zagara, the assassin, or the specialist that is on his team. So watch out for Anubarak and the play here for the Relics, because boy, do I love watching it.
So many cool synergies too. If you get a big maw, you follow up with the roots and then the burrow charge, like that is devastating lockdown on your team. But Cog, they've got 2 more picks here in this draft before we get underway, and they're going for Illidan once more.
And you are not prepared. Illidan is here for a second game. He has done perfectly in the first game. We've seen a dive, sweeping strike, doing a lot of havoc in the back lines. There's no way Relics to step up in the front line because your damage deals are being hunted. And we saw Metamorphosis doing even more HP healing there with those shields coming in. His trait is also going to make sure that he gets some extra HP once he lands those right-click damage.
And why not? Last game there was impressive play from Illidan. There is a follow-up from Abathur. There is also one thing that the Relics didn't do when they were playing against Cog, and that's when you're retreating, you need to put damage on Illidan or he'll continue to chase you. They instead, whenever they were losing fights, would all 4 right-click away and never actually get into center stepping. And if Cog caught onto that, they're going to keep up that aggression.
We saw how strong it was in game number 1, and now they have Johanna paired with it. That front line of Cognitive is something ferocious in terms of sustain. But Relics, they have to worry about a lot of different things, right? Can they keep up an experience with the split soak of Abathur? And do they have the same kind of damage output? So do we gotta find something that works out for like that?
Oh,
wow.
My God.
Oh, wow.
Are we going somewhere?
I think we are, boys. We're getting in the boat because the Lost Vikings have been picked up. One of the most unique heroes and heroes of this room. They have 3 control groups. You can soak 2 lanes, be in the face of your team at once, get in the longboat raid, or use play again. Such cool utility with this hero.
Yeah, the Vikings on this battleground are very strong because, as you mentioned, 2 of them can sit in the lanes and 1 can go in the middle and then kind of dictate how fights happen. If 2 people come up to kill off Eric because he's pushing in the top lane, then from there you go in for an engage in the middle of the map. Or if the 2 are just soaking, you just prevent them from actually getting a kill on the Immortal. This is such a strong pick for the Relics. Let's see if they make it work. Guys, have fun.
All right, guys, game number 2 with Cognitive currently up 1-0 versus Relics. We're hopping on into it.
And on the blue team from Singapore, Relics. We got Reliza playing as the Lyric Trinity. We'll be playing as the Zagara Me onto the Anubrak, and Zace as the Malfurion. Revenant, a StarCraft 2 professional player from SEA. Nobody heard of him actually, but he's going to be the Lost Vikings.
All right, and sitting 1 game away from advancing to the next round, we have Glaurung once again playing as Illidan. Iacona will be on Uther, Silo on Johanna, Hospital rocking the Abathur, and Ivy Slime rounding out the team as Jaina. A very powerful composition for both teams.
Jake, have you been irritated by a very big housefly before?
Yeah.
Illidan is even bigger, and here we go. Even having Abathur on him, there's just no way it's going to go down. There's also Uther there. This will be a really awesome game. I cannot wait to see what the Vikings touches to this Battlefield of Eternity.
Now, Vikings are a very high-skilled hero, right? You have to have a lot of APM control and just awareness as to what's happening on the battleground as you're controlling 3 heroes at once. So it's going to be very cool to see this all unfold here. They've kind of fallen out of the meta because of how difficult they can be to play.
And also, I do realize that this map, you have got Immortal spawning. Vikings, they don't really do a lot with that, but what they can do is if the rest of your team buys time, those Vikings can soak the EXP across those lanes.
Okay, well, just some light pressure here for both teams, exchanging blows. Silo actually taking a large amount of damage, but the rotation is here. The roots go off, trying to buy time, but Zaze is taking too much damage. Illidan dives forward with a head and gets that first kill. And now Olaf, also in a bit of a peculiar spot. The Frostbolt does hit a minion instead.
Cognitive's Illidan is really so good. You're looking at all of that awesome action at the bottom lane while Hospital soaking the top lane here. So that really translates to no EXP loss at all. The Vikings, this is a small map. It's a little bit peculiar to see Vikings in this map. Normally you see Vikings at big maps like Kirk Hollow, maybe even Sky Temple, but Battlefield of Eternity? You gotta be kidding me. There's something going on here, Jake.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely something cool, but the power of Longboat Raid, especially fighting in those closed areas, can be really good in the late game, and having the split soak to get to 10 and an even footing with your opponent that have Abathur, I like the idea here, but the execution will definitely be something unique that we haven't seen a whole lot of.
And it's also going to be Vikings bribery for the Lost Vikings, so that means you get a little bit extra mercenary touch going into this game here. Reliza setting up the perimeters. Glaurung, as usual, don't really care. We'll be jumping on the damage, but here comes the lockdown, and Abathur had already on Zaze now. A little bit of trouble. There goes the shield glare. Glaurung may not get stunned by the Immortal, but Zaze is really having a lot of trouble dealing with that. Reliza is going to go down. The rest of Cognitive is going to pull back, but they've already taken some extra EXP.
The moment Relic switches their focus to Illidan, Glaurung just backs out of there. He says, okay, you switch your focus, you're trying to eliminate me, I'm just gonna leave the fight. That's the power of Illidan, that crazy mobility that he has.
I'll say for sure, Cognitive looking like they're very strong today, and we also have almost no EXP lead both sides. Immortals completely ignored, and in this situation, the Vikings have to run. Eric, unfortunately, he's got some really fast speed, but that's not good enough for Illidan.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the Lost Vikings is they're all unique. Olaf has more health, he's more of a warrior. Veilog has the splash damage, good for lane clear. And Eric is quick, but his health pool is so very low. That's why Illidan puts the focus on it.
And here we have actually a potential Immortal race, maybe. Silos to be able to buy some time. The rest of Cognitive knocking on the blue Immortal. And for Relics, they just want to take this one down as well to 50%. The relocation is kind of standard for the first one, and it's going to be on both sides.
Yeah, but the health bar, as you can see, pretty darn even right now. Both teams doing a good job applying pressure to their opponents, and now they're on opposite sides. So both teams are just going to have a race trying to eliminate the health bar first to see who can get the Immortal. And it looks like Cognitive has a slight edge. They will get the first Immortal of this game.
It's always because of the fact that the Vikings are not doing enough against the Immortal. While you got Abathur doing a lot of work with those spike bursts in those symbiote mode, and this is where you have Cognitive push a possible lane, and I think it may actually be the top lane.
Yep, it looks like the Immortal's actually going to go to the bottom this time around. It's all just, at the start of the game, it's pretty much just randomized. Later in the game, if there's more damage done to that lane, well, the Immortal's going to go to the opposing lane to try to take some more damage out onto their fort that sits in that lane.
I'm really stoked to see two different types of the Eternal Conflicts maps being played by this teams right here today. And this Immortal is very different from the Punisher. He really just wants to go for structures all out. And that means that you will lose a gate as well as power on the side of Relics. And for Cognitive, you have Glaurung top lane, so applying a little bit more pressure here. It's probably going to look to take down the small wall, or maybe even just taking down the tower, and there's nothing those Vikings can do.
The split push of Glaurung and Abathur have actually done more damage than the Immortal. That's a really cool thing. Just the split push capability that you get afforded to in these kind of situations. Right now, we see Relics, they want to get this bottom siege camp, and it looks like they'll be 600. No! Silo steps on the point, can now pull the big Blizzard, doing critical damage.
Mur has to bail out there. There we go. The Burrow charge is going to be used, and the mercenary camp will go to Cognitive. They're already level 7 both like Trinity. He's going to take the fall. Abathur has doing a lot of work right there. The spy first, nail the kill, and Olaf also is going to feed the entire family in this raid.
I guess he really could feed an entire family. He's a big dude. But the Siege Camp is doing a lot of damage themselves. They're going to try to feed their family by taking out some structures. Silo, pretty low on mana, going to just back away. And during this time, Balog is actually picking up a Merc Camp himself. So the split push of the Vikings is paying off in this instance.
But what is Glaurung doing? He's actually hiding behind the lines here and looking to pull back almost immediately. He knows he needs to address the top lane pressure coming out from Balog as well as Eric, and is going on a hunt. Looking for Eric, probably no one to get a Balog, but not going to get either one of those two.
All right, Lost Vikings picked up Merc Lord, so this gives them a lot more utility capability in taking the Merc camps and then pushing with them. So I like this pickup quite a bit. If Cog ever does leave a lane and leave Abathur alone, they're going to abuse the fact that they're just weak in that situation.
It's actually still surprisingly even right now. Level 8 both sides, 6 minutes almost right up, and 3 seconds to the second batch of Immortals spawning. And here we have Cognitive looking very, very good. In terms of talent choices, everything looks to be pretty normal right now. There is still going to be a bit of extra symbiote focus built for Abathur, and you see a very standard Jaina coming out.
So the Fallen Shaman that Cog just picked up, that's a very strategic thing. To save that mercenary camp until the second phase happens of these Immortals. And it's just really nicely done. Now suddenly, Relics has to worry about that top lane being pushed out too much by the mercenaries, and losing Olaf there, not what you want to have happen.
Vikings is just going down one by one, and the rest of Cognitive, they're just going for a fight at mid lane right now. Mid-area Zay looking to just nicely pull away from Glaurung. Glaurung jumps on Zagara, and it's gone already. It's not level 10 just yet, so Relic, they don't have those heroics to work with. Reliza using the Wraith Walk, he's going to get away just fine, but Cognitive has got unrestricted access here to the Blue Immortals.
Glaurung is looking so crisp, and the stun goes up on Namir. He does not have that burn charge available, and he will go down. Glaurung goes deep into the backline. He finds Ace with that out of their hand. Is it enough? The body blocks are there. One more hit will seal the other, but Zace gets away.
And Reliza also going to be fine. The rest of Cognitive, they have to pull back right here. They're just too close to the game. If they really want to bait out a kill, all they need to do is just set up shop in this area. Level 10. There's no way Relics can cope with this right now. Top lane, there's still those mercenary camps pushing really well. The Immortals will relocate, and Cognitive looking for part 2.
Yeah, they got the big lead here on the Immortals, and the Blizzard crashing down, doing quite a bit of damage. Level 10 heroics have been reached. The Blessed Shield Metamorphosis, and we have Divine Shield, Water Ellie, and Ultimate Evolution, all very powerful.
Cognitive gets the second Immortal, and the difference is that this one here, sir, has got a lot of shield.
Yeah, it's much more powerful. Look at the shield bar now. It's both shield and energy. So basically, when these Immortals spawn, they use a ranged attack which expends their energy. But once it expires, they go into a melee mode where they're much more vulnerable when applying that pressure to the enemy team's structures.
All right, it seems like Lyric will go for much of the Black King, Tranquility on Malfurion, Longbow Raid on Vikings, and it's going to be Locust Swamp.
Oh my
goodness! This is a very big problem for Reliza. He has to get out. He's not going to do anything. Rainbow pulling back up, and there goes the extra Tranquility. And maybe Relics can take a fight right now. Silo pulls back, and second Illidan comes out. 2 house fly. It's more than 1. Devarimon going to pull the support right back, but can they hold their aggression? I don't think so. Hospital just jumping on Trinity. The rest of the team, they have to pull back. Mer also Power Charge. Immortal, the shield is still up by 5%. HP still 100%. There's no way Relics is not going to lose some structures right here.
Babel, you could consider the rotations of the Illidan's aren't, because one gets low, he rotates out, the other one dives in, keeping each other alive during that fight. Great synergy here by Cognitive. They have more than a level lead, and this Immortal will fall, but the Burn Charge will be nullified by the Unstoppable there on Silo.
Oh, Vikings knocking Ivy's line. The longbow anytime it's going to come out. We're waiting for it. Revenant still going to come out. Johanna is gone already, but Ivy's line dropping very low. Eric with those nice slingshots. Abathur is here to save the day, but Mer goes in. wants to pick up Jaina, and that little Red Riding Hood is gone.
Beautiful burrow charge there. That march of the Black King is really what allowed them to turn that fight around. Picking off Jaina in the instance, they find Uther with the roots. Iacona is being locked in. The team is rotating around. He's completely surrounded, and he's buying time for his team, but there is no getting out of this.
Iacona, he's just buying time right now. You see some toxicness coming out, and Iacona, he is just really doing a great job here, healing himself up a little bit more. It will go down at the end. The level lead actually completely erased, by the way, Jake.
That's and they're back in it. I mean, it's 3-6 in terms of takedowns in favor of Cognitive, but Relics, they've got the split soak with the Vikings, and that turnaround they just had in that bottom lane really showing how resilient they are.
I have to say that the longbow was 404 not found just now. Was not used at all.
It's true. It's true. We have not seen it yet, but having that capability and not even needing it in those fights just shows how strong this comp really can be.
Rest of Relics looking for top lane aggression. Cognitive with a bit of a top lane rotation coming in. Silo with those Condemn pulling them in. And here comes the Murklot effect. Can they hold off this area? Those are really big beasts.
Those Goat Bros hurt when they have Murklord. I mean, that's a lot of damage up being thrown in there. But Silo with Night Takes Pong pulls them in 4-second stun. Plenty of time to eliminate those mercenaries. And look at the use of the Afterminds. How much slow is on Realizer? It's like 40%. Massive slowing just thrown all over the battleground.
It is a pain indeed. Silo is already setting up the shop here. Trinity gets stunned by Blast Shield. And there goes the Devarma, but the guard gets blown apart. And we got Iacona in some trouble. Monster the Black King not really going to connect on anything. Longbow Ray coming out. Iacona is the primary target, but the Vikings will go down at the end. And Boda is gone. And now Illidan wants to go in to speed the win. Not going to do enough damage. Silo needs to pull right back. Iacona, Divine Shield already used it. Nothing can do that. Glaurung buying more time, but we still have a second Jaina below, I believe, and it will also nicely expire.
Just fighting over the Immortal here of Relics was such a tough decision because Cognitive got so split up in that fight. Now Relics is in a phenomenal spot for the first time. They're going to have the advantage going into this Immortal phase before it animates for the second half, but Cognitive, they'll be back to full power 5 seconds till Johanna is back in action.
Yes, it probably is going to mean that the first half of this Immortal fight will go towards Relics, but if you look at the blue Immortal HP, it still seems like Cognitive did sufficient damage in the first part of that, and they will actually nicely change sides. Glaurung, with that extra help from Abathur, is going to do so much more damage. Can Relics raise this? We're going to see yet another Immortal raise. Who's going to get it? This time around, we're not going to capture it completely on the camera, but in terms of HP, look at the bottom right corner. It seems like Relics is going to get theirs first, and the first Immortal for the Singaporean team will happen here.
It's their turn to get aggressive. The Immortal will push down the top lane, which has already taken some structural damage. If they manage to take out some forts here, that's really going to help them catch up in experience and maybe even push them forward towards level 16.
All right, 12 minutes in, Relics Immortal will push down the top lane. Abathur's already at the bottom lane, and this is where the Vikings is going to try to apply some pressure there against Abathur. The rest of the team will be at the top lane, and the fight's going to happen real soon. Immortal's shield will drop very quickly. Rest of the team are there, and oh my god, Eric is going in! Abathur getting haunted hospital! Get out of there! Eric has got such a fast speed. That's actually really cute. There's a fight happening on the top lane, but nobody cares. Eric's all that matters right now. We still have Glaurung invulnerable. Divine Shield pops up. Merc's gonna take the full tranquility. Not really useful right there. And we have the rest of Cognitive looking to punish Relic. Realize that takes the fall. 2 of the warriors are gone. And the rest of the Vikings getting Blast Shield. Glaurung, he wants blood again, is jumping, but he gets rid of by a fantastic and declared by Zaze.
The power of Illidan is something else here in this matchup. If you cannot stop that aggression, he is just going to keep on charging in. Yes, the top fort did fall on the side of Cognitive, but Cog returns the favor. Fort's going down for both teams.
Abathur, man, it's really the amount of legs you have back there. Eric has 2 fast ones, Abathur has got like 8 slow ones. So I think it actually pays off quite well at the end.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. All right, well, we do see the Merc camp was picked up here in Glaurung, flanking from behind Trinity, taking a lot of damage to heal from Malfurion are there, but he dives over the root. Condemn pulling him on in. The afterhand is more than enough to secure the kill.
That is one good area for a pickup. There is no way Zagar's going to get out of that one there. Glaurung has got a ability to do so much damage because of that Abathur. And Relics, they have a bit of a lead, but right now it seems to be dead even again. Realize that he may want to fight right now, but Glaurung again splitting the fight back to the back line. Can the rest of Cognitive pick up this mercenary campus? We don't know. There goes the Metamorphosis, and Revenant, Longbow, he's not going to pop in, and down goes Malfurion, the healer. It's got Glaurung going for all of them, but there goes the Longbow. Glaurung now, without the support, they're all locked out of the gate. Glaurung can still dance around a little bit, and here goes the gate to Rome is open right now. Glaurung gets rooted, relies realizes with some slow, but Relics are down to 3 members, and Cognitive, they decide enough is enough, we're gonna bail out, and Immortals will spawn in just 30 seconds.
They pick up the camp of fallen shamans, they pick up a few kills, and now they're falling back 20 seconds till these Immortals are in action. I am just so thrilled by the play we're seeing out of Cognitive today.
They're really prepared for this matchup right now. Level 16 both sides, and you can see that Cognitive, they have a very good position. In terms of heroics, we don't have the longbow rate for the next 60 seconds, and for Cognitive, they don't have Water Elemental and Metamorphosis. So right here, I don't think Cognitive should go for a fight. They just have to wait.
Yeah, Cogs just, they're going for the damage, and the Immortal in the race is very much in their favor, falling much more rapidly than the one on the side of Relics. The phase is going to happen, 50% health right now. They will then move to a different spot here in the center of the battleground.
Metamorphosis is up, and you don't want to die so fast, but Abathur's got Dagger spot on the Black King, stack on the Divine Maul, that's not enough damage, and Gloron, Silo, they will come back out here. A third form Immortal actually going to go towards Cognitive, level 16 against 17 right now. We're looking at Immortal HP going down very quickly, and there's nothing Relics can do.
You know, a really unfortunate situation. They hit a wonderful maw there, but at the same time, we saw March of the Black King being used and hitting absolutely nothing. That's why you saw, with zero hesitation, they left the fight. They're like, there's no chance for us winning this, and now they have to deal with a 60% power Immortal on the side of Cognitive 15 minutes into this game.
Cognitive, I mean, they are looking very good right now. Top lane, all that's left there really is the keep and some structures. Immortal's gonna spawn in that direction as well. There is no mercenary camps getting picked up in the meantime, but Abathur is still applying a lot of pressure at the bottom lane.
Yeah, he constantly has that soak. It's such a great utility. Still, I have to hand it to Relics. They're really staying in this game in terms of experience. They're not that far behind. One slip up by Cog, and this game could easily be theirs.
It's like 9 kills down against Cognitive, but they're still in this game. And we have the Immortal just knocking off the towers. The rest of Cognitive's also there. Reliza is waiting for those heroics. Relics, they don't have the heroics to really take this fight right now. 20 seconds before Tranquility, as well as the Divine Maul is going to be back up, so they have to wait for that at least.
Yeah, they're playing pretty safely here, but they're just trying to keep their keep as safe as possible. Glaurung with the Metamorphosis, not really hitting that many targets, so he's not going to have the biggest health pool, but he's diving forward with that support regardless. A big stun is laid off there. He's doing so much damage to the Lost Vikings. They can't pop the longbow rate, and they do just that.
And it seems like the Mortar is not going to connect on anything, but behind enemy line, Reliza's doing a pretty good job there. Much of the Black King used already. Divine Shield coming out, and Glaurung wants part 2, but the damage has been done, and the keep is gone. The victory is already secure for Cognitive. They just have to pull back. Glaurung running in a very questionable direction. Managed to get locked down. Mermaid for the Borrow Charge. Hospital spot, a second one, and the Blind Borrow Charge. Bushfire! Glaurung stays alive somehow, and security guy Leo is going to buy some time, but Glaurung is still alive, and he finally goes down.
Beautiful play there by Relics. They do manage to pick off not only Glaurung, but they force out that clone of Abathur. That's a big play. That's the kind of plays you have to make to stay in this game.
In terms of structures, we still have 3 forts out for Cognitive, so it's not like Relics has just won this game. They have a very big problem. A huge hole on the top half of this map in their base. They got to make sure at least Cognitive is being held in the background here. They have to get a level lead and go back to level 20 for this to be an even fight.
Yeah, the Storm Talons are going to make this very difficult for Relics, especially when you throw that onto Illidan. He's already hard enough for them to eliminate, and there's so many options that just give him additional sustainability in these team fights.
It's looking really good right now. I mean, if you look at those talent options as well, Utility Uther is going to be right there. He is just really doing a lot of work with those Shrink Ray, Benediction double heals, and that really just sustains the whole team. Johanna's going to be looking for indestructible level 20. She does have Burning Bridge as well, so if she goes in directly to the core of Relics lineup, she's going to do a lot of damage. Jaina also, with what looks like a possible Numbing Blast, is also going to mean a lot of extra lockdown against Relics.
Okay, well, Illidan is back alive. Relics has done a great job catching up in experience with the split soak available on the Vikings, just picking up some mercenary camps. So they're really back on into this. It's not going to be that big of a window for Cognitive in which they have the Storm Talent advantage.
Yeah, Immortal spawning in under 10 seconds. Level lead will go to Cognitive. They are half a level away, and they get the level 20 Relics. They're in a really tight spot. Do they have the ability to get level 20 first? Remember, they have the Vikings, but can they defend this spot enough? Glaurung seems to really ignore the Immortal and go into the back lines. Trinity and Zace, they have to stay safe.
I love the position here by Cog, but they want to get in. They want to use this advantage when they're able to, and they're going straight for Zagara. Maw is thrown out, but Illidan still in the front line with that hat, and he does get the kill.
Iacona with the Divine Shield place, making sure they Glaurung is able to do maximum damage there, and the Ice Block Tranquility. There goes the March of the Black King and the Longbow Raid. Iron Corner is gone, and there goes the Ice Block for Jaina, but Jaina is not able to survive much longer. Mer's also there. Maybe Everton's going to save the day. We'll see. The second one on the connect, and still the Vikings with the boat, and Glaurung blows my mind. He's still alive somehow, and you still see Ivy Slime do a great job. The Vikings chasing after Johanna, but it seems like Relics is the one losing at the end. Glaurung 1 versus 3, numbers win, but not if you are Glaurung. And we got Ivy Slime.
I don't believe this! Ivy Slime will go down, but the power of Highmind in that fight was absolutely insane. The Ghost of Uther got so much healing done, and Cognitive shows an excellent display of battle. But we do see those Immortals are still standing in this match. That both teams traded pretty evenly. Cog on the better end of things, but it's not over yet.
Level 20 both sides right now. We are looking at a very even game. It seems like Relics caught up, but this is making them really sweat. Glaurung is getting a Mercenary Camp. Relics also wants to get the Mercenary Camp going. The Immortals HP 38,000, and it's only going to skill even more.
Look at the focus on these guys. This is a tense moment. This next Immortal could seal the deal for COD to advance forward in this tournament, or it could be the end of this matchup here for Relics. They need to make sure they regain their composure and fight over these Immortals in the middle of the battleground with their full team capability.
And Relics, man, they're 1 level down, or almost 1 level down, but we're looking at Cognitive with a surprise ambush party.
They're going to find someone in the back line. Now it's only Mirror that they see. No, they're even just going to go for the trades on the Immortal right now, force the position. Where is the rest of the team? Jaina, after they're both back in base, Cog is not at full power right now.
They're completely out of position. Jaina needs to join the team. Ivy Slime's really hurrying over, but it seems like we're going to wait for the relocate, and still the Immortal is pretty even. This really goes to show that Illidan Avatar does so much damage. And here we go, a second Illidan Zaze, again with the Ice Block, and we're looking for some more damage. Manmoth is being popped as well. Divine Shield coming in, and it's going to look like that. The Tranquility is going to save the day. Divine Shield chasing after Malfurion. Zaze is buying some time, but it seems like the Wormwood's going to lock away the target Trinity. 1v1 against Glaurung, and there goes Longbow, raise some AoE damage, March of the Black King, but Glaurung is still up, and Silo's giving chase. Reliza is already gone. We still got Zaze. He is behind, and Merc, he's in a lot of trouble, but Silo's still up, and then
how are they living through these fights? I do not understand. Well, this play is absolutely insane. The rotations are full. It's Vikings trying to stay alive. Relizer has to lead. Revenant has to back on out of here, and now Cognitive can focus down the rest of this Immortal.
They were 7, but they dropped 4, and there's still 3 versus 5 right now. We're looking at Cognitive looking for a possible game-ending situation. Maybe we're going to go for the base. And Relics, they may go down to the lower bracket. We still have 25 seconds before Respawn comes back out here. Onto that Zagara. It doesn't seem possible. What can a Viking, what can a security guard do? I don't think Lure's going to be enough in his position. And the core down 20%, 10%. Relics, they will go down. Cognitive goes forward. We are now